Welcome to the best masterclass in the world. I am so excited because we're going to be covering leadership energetics to maximize your charisma in social interactions. So, leadership energetics is something that I've decided to create because in my life, I went from a shy kid, someone who was awkward in social interactions, but yet deep inside, I never felt shy. And I feel like that's usually the case for people who come across as shy. Deep inside, they have this treasure waiting to be untold, right? Waiting to be told. And so I realized that when I stepped into my truest confident self, doors of opportunity started to open. I was offered 2 manager jobs. People started really liking who I was. And I started making new friends. My social circle, my network started growing. And that's when I realized for me to put myself out there and really allow myself to expand and play big and take up space meant that I had to let go of people pleasing. This means it was time to become charismatic. And that's why today we're going to be talking about charisma and social interactions, but using leadership energetics, which is something that I've created from studying 6+ years of psychology, from speaking to over 1,000 strangers in less than 2 weeks when I had a job where I had to sell to people on the street as a fundraiser. Let's just say that that was the moment I was no longer shy. I had to pay the bills, so I did it. I broke the glass cage, the invisible glass cage that we put on ourselves, the mental limits that we put on ourselves from being that charismatic self in our social interactions, from being that magnetic self that is attractive, that can go up to a stranger and start a conversation, that can go up to the cute guy or the cute girl and get their number, or that charismatic self that holds their body and speaks with confidence and certainty, with pride. They hold their body with pride. They love who they are. The people who love who they are in this world stand out because they're so. Can I go there with you? Can I be real? Can I be unfiltered with you? I'm gonna guess that's a yes. So the people that put themselves out there, right, in the world and truly embrace all they are, they stand out because there's so many people who choose to distract themselves with food, with alcohol, with drugs, instead of facing their emotions. And those people that are distracting themselves will tell you it's hard. And I'm not going to say to you that sitting with your emotions and doing the healing work and doing all the stuff is easy peasy lemon squeezy. There'll be challenges along the way. That's the fun bit about it, right? That's the fun aspect of it. It's growing. We humans love to grow. Remember when you were a child and you soaked up knowledge, right? You saw new things and it excited you to learn. It excited you to go to school. But then there was a shift where things stopped being fun and it started being chores. Well, after this masterclass, I'm going to teach you, and you're going to embark on a journey where instead of things being a chore, they are now going to be exciting, fun, because you're going to be living and creating an extraordinary life, the life of your dreams. Okay, so the big thing that we're going to be talking about, first of all, is what is leadership energetics and how can it change your life for the better? Leadership energetics is the mixture of spirituality and psychology, which I created, as I said, with all the experience that I've experienced, applying all of the knowledge that I learned. So I decided to create leadership energetics because together, spirituality, meditation, affirmations, all of these tools that we will cover on how to properly do them in this masterclass so that you can step into your most powerful self, so that you can actually change the way that people react to you after doing affirmations instead of just feeling good in the moment, you know? And we're also going to be able to use the psychology. So I'm going to teach you so you'll have the tools to implement by yourself. I'm actually going to be giving you so much value in this masterclass, and there's a little surprise in the end. So stay tuned for that. And the thing is, when you shift, right, your psychology with these mindset tools that I'm about to provide for you, what happens is you are not limiting yourself. There's no glass cage. There's no invisible glass cage anymore. You are free. So it's going to feel like you are free. You're going to feel good being in your own body. It's going to be easier to breathe. There's not going to, I see so many people that are holding themselves back. They're living in people pleasing. They breathe shallow. They breathe not fully because they're holding themselves back. And there's all this trauma in their body somatically, right? And you can deal with that with breath work. But moving on, I'm going to give you more incredible value going on. First of all, I don't want to spend too much time on the introduction. Okay, so Scarlett Hopkins. That's my name. I meant to say ScarletHeartMedicine. Leadership energetics coach for women and entrepreneurs, right? You don't have to be an entrepreneur to find so much value from leadership energetics. But leadership energetics was created to maximize the output of entrepreneurs. So when you are like putting yourself out there, right? You getting visible, like going live on Instagram, maybe you're doing public speaking or things that require a level of confidence that you don't need on your day-to-day basis, you have so much room to expand and grow into your potential. What does that mean? You can do a public speaking, but you get good results, or you can get exceptional results where people are literally coming up to you after the speech, thanking you for the speech, going, that was amazing. Getting so many people asking you, how are you so confident? Getting people going, who is she? This is what you get when you start implementing leadership energetics, right? So if you want to be able to empower yourself and feel empowered in your actual authentic expression, it means that you're going to be walking around feeling good about yourself, right? I feel like that's the most important thing. I could stop the masterclass here and you will understand the importance of leadership energetics. Feeling good about yourself is why we do everything else in life, right? We want to get money. We want to get a good job. We want to get the job of our love. We want to find the love of our life. We want to get the job that gives us passion that we love because it makes us feel good, right? So leadership energetics is very powerful. It will literally teach you how to emotionally self-soothe, boundaries, communication, all the good jazz. So confidently create the life of your dreams. Okay, so I want to go a little bit more in touch on like specifics. Leadership energetics is using focus, intuition, and leadership skills, which is your communication skills and your boundaries, to present yourself confidently, but radically confidently, that inspires other people to rise that are around you because they realize you're not playing small. So they feel empowered to play big too, because you give them permission to do that as well. You are here today. I truly believe this in every cell of my bones, every cell in my body, that you are here today because you are made for something extraordinary. You could be doing anything in your time, but you've chosen to come here because you're dedicated to your future. You're dedicated to you. You're investing this time in you. And for that, I just want to say I'm proud of you. And I do know that after this masterclass, there'll be a big shift in your life. I feel it. You are here to have an extraordinary life. And you are ready to tap into your potential. Is this you? Type yes in the comments if this is you. Even if you are just listening to this now, or maybe you're watching the replay, type yes in the comments so I know that you're awake. The more that you interact, the more your mind feels tuned in, and the more focus you give and attention to this, the more it sinks in and you absorb value. So make sure you interact in the moments that there is an interaction moment. If you failed before, well done. Congratulations. I literally feel like clapping to you. It's silly? No, it's not. It's truth. You're a baby. How many times have you failed before you started walking? How many times have you failed before you started walking? But yet somehow, we overlook that. And we think that now that we're adults, because we're adults, I can't fall when I'm learning to walk, when I've never walked. And I'm using this metaphor for anything, any skill that is learned in life. So if you're failing, I genuinely want to congratulate you because it shows me that you're trying, which 90% of the population, like I said in the beginning, are not. You, my friend, are feeling this potential in your soul because you are made for more. You can do this. I don't care how many times you've said something and you didn't do it. This only means you're one step closer to doing it next time. And I mean that in every single ounce of my soul. Because I remember when I was fundraising, you're going to love this story. When I was fundraising and I had to literally talk to thousands of strangers, right? What happened was, at first, I failed so many times. We had a coach. It was incredible. We literally had a coach. I've had so many coaches in my life. This is why I decided to be a coach. I know the value it provided into my life. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Just 1 second, guys, because I value your time here. So I've had so many moments. Where was I? When I was fundraising, and literally my coach told me, you just had a good chat with that person. It was more than last time. Yes, you didn't sell, but you are closer next time to selling. So basically I was fundraising for a charity. And she said, you're closer next time to selling. Like, you're closer. I didn't have the mindset that I do now. So it was really weird when she said that at first. It's like, how does she know? Is she a mind reader? Does she predict the future? But now I can see that she had a point. Like, I was, every single time that I spoke, and I did it again and again and again. And even though it seemed like I failed the actual objective, I was learning and growing, right? So next time I did do it. And eventually I started selling and selling and selling and selling and selling. And because this was my job, this was how I paid my bills, this made me feel ecstatic. It made me feel euphoric because I realized I can do it. And so can you. I did not think I could do it, but yet I did it because I took the action and I faced my shadow. What's my shadow? It's the beliefs like, I can't do this. They can because they got this, and I can't because these are excuses. These are your shadow. But once you face them and you basically prove them wrong, you bring that shadow aspect of you into the light. Listen to this carefully, listen to this closely. You bring that shadow aspect into the light. Now you shine brighter. And the irony is that the bigger you shine, the more polarity you cause. This is why, in order to make an impact, you have to be able to stand strong and powerful in conflicting. No, that's not conflicting. Controversial ideas. Because when you are able to stand strong in these controversial ideas, this is how you make an impact and create change as a leader in life, in the world. I just want to say, I'm looking right into your eyes right now. And I want to tell you, I believe in you and I know you can do this in every ounce of my soul. I don't care if it doesn't feel like it, whatever you're working towards, whatever goal you have in mind, I know you can do this. You can do it. And you're going to learn so many powerful things in this masterclass that afterwards you are going to be a new person. I am so excited for what the world is about to bring to you. So it's not true that only if you had this, or if you were this, or if you were that, if I was a woman, or if I had more money, or if I had this, then I could do it. It's not true. Or if more people like me, or if I didn't have this color hair, just fill in the blank, basically. This is what every single human psychology does. It holds themselves back from being their full potential. So I really want to talk about victim mindset, right? Which is what creates a hell loop. It's a cycle. So a victim mindset feels like life is happening to them and the world is against them. And I remember listening to this quote. I don't remember who it's by. I think it might have been Albert Einstein, but don't quote me. He said something along the lines of, if you believe you're in a friendly world or a hostile world, that is what will be reflected back to you. Life works as mirrors, smokes and mirrors. Even though this reality seems to be solid, the truth is there's a billion perspectives, as many as there are people. And there's a lot of people in this world. And when you realize there's so many perspectives out there, you realize that reality is perception. Can I say that again? Reality is perception. So once you change your mindset, you quite literally change the way you show up to reality, the energy you exude, and the frequency you show up. And because we live in a vibrational world, your vibrations, the vibes that you emit, which is change, once you choose different emotions, which is energy, and your emotions change once you change your thoughts. Wow, this is powerful stuff. You change what is reflected back to you in the mirror. So stop trying to go outside of you, right? Going to try and change people's opinions about you by convincing them. That doesn't work. I tried in the past. It doesn't work. I've done a lot of things. I've experimented a lot, and this is how I know all this stuff. So I'm going to go more into it, but basically I do this daily challenge every single day where I try to experiment myself out of my comfort zone, because your comfort zone never ends. So like once you expand your comfort zone, you have a new comfort zone. And that's how I'm always growing. It's powerful. But basically, that's the thing. If you try to go outside of you and change people's opinions of you and try to convince them that you're likable, it doesn't work, because you're trying to change the mirror instead of changing what vibe you're exuding to the mirror. And maybe you change your vibe and those people still don't like you, but now you attract people who like you and they leave your life just magically, spiritually speaking. They just move countries maybe. Or maybe you just start seeing them less. They just don't show up in your field as much. Whew. Okay, so you have a dream. I don't even have to question this. I don't have to sit here and think, does everyone here have a dream? Everyone here has a dream, because every single human being has a purpose. This is actually a really fun moment that I really want to share with you. Today, I was like, just doing the dishes, and I was thinking about this masterclass, and I picked up the scissors, and then there was another thing that I needed to cut, and I realized the scissors has a purpose, and it can cut the thing. And the thing was there for the purpose to be cut by the scissors, right? Everything in life is basically you interacting with yourself. And so I'm talking about, when I say interacting with yourself, I truly believe in the theory. And if you don't believe in, that's fine. That's fine. But you can still listen, because you'll get a lot of value nonetheless. So I truly believe that we're just one consciousness being reflected in different characters, which is us, me, you, and humans. So God wanted to play with himself or herself, genderless God, and basically created different characters in human aspects and created different things and different purposes for different things, so different things can interact with themselves in life. This is my theory of life. Everyone has their own viewpoint, their own perspective, and I find this beautiful. Okay, so you have a dream, and today you came to this masterclass because you're ready to be one step closer to achieving it. And I'm proud of you for that, because that's not what most people are doing. You're one step closer to achieving your dream from just showing up here, from just literally showing up for yourself. And your dream can be anything. It can be from, maybe you want to be an entrepreneur who has like a lot of followers on Instagram, or maybe you want to own your own business, your own restaurant, or maybe you don't want to own your own business. You just want to go up the career ladder and you want to get promotions, whatever it is. You want to create yourself an extraordinary life, because you only live once, and you only get to be you once, and you want to make the most out of it, right? So this is why you are here today. To create your dream reality where you are excited and beaming with joy every single day that you wake up. And instead of snoozing the alarm or thinking another day, you are like, yes, I got this. I know I got this, because I have shown myself countless times that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And that's how you build confidence, through self-trust. Meet the old me. Oh my goodness, the old me. I had acne. I was crying. You can see on the left-hand side, I was constantly wanting someone to like me, to validate me externally. And then eventually I was done with it, right? I was like, I'm done. I need to do something to change this reality. I had so much insecurities about my acne, You can see me on the left. That was me crying. I'd be crying basically all of the time. And when I wasn't crying, it was because I was just eating a big chocolate bar full of refined sugars, right? That made me feel like in a food coma. So I was really struggling. So when I say I know a lot of perspectives. I've lived a lot of angles in life. I lived highs and lows. I know what it's like to be in the lows and in the highs. I know what it's like to experience life, from like having quite an abundance of money, from not having an abundance of money, living in a big house, living in a tiny house, living in a house that's got luxuries, living in a place that's no luxuries. I literally have experienced a lot. And I'm grateful. And I truly believe that's because I'm here to serve people on a high level. And so I was a doormat. I was a people pleaser. I was always being stepped on because I was so scared of conflict. I was so scared of conflict, and my nervous system, listen, this is the valuable stuff. My nervous system was out of whack, right? So I was constantly in fight or flight, and I was feeling like I constantly had to like defend myself. I was always in defensive mode, and I saw insults probably where the people weren't even intending it to be an insult, because I was constantly, that feeling of out of whack, that feeling of, nervousness, that feeling of anxiety. And then eventually I healed it because I started speaking up about my boundaries, and I started building a relationship with myself, which is all that charisma is. Charisma is about having a strong relationship with yourself. When you build that relationship with yourself and you got you, and you and you understand your insecurities, and you've done the inner work, you've done the shadow work, and you've faced your fears, and you love yourself, not for like taking hot baths or gifting you roses. It's still loving and self-care to do that. But self-love is doing the things that you don't always feel like it, but that is good for you. Like maybe today you felt like watching Netflix, but you chose to watch this masterclass. This is self-love, because you're choosing to invest in your future by learning this incredible knowledge that will level up your life and expand you as a human being. Okay, so the goal that I have for you guys today, that I truly, truly want you to live a life where you're obsessed with your life and you wouldn't want to be anyone else. You're beaming in joy and gratitude and exuding an aura that is powerful and respectable by others, right? So this is what I want for you, and this is what you're going to experience in this masterclass. Let me know if this sounds like you. Just got some notes that I really want to cover with you guys, because it's very important. Okay. So funny, because I am such an intuitive person that I ended up just talking about the masterclass instead of looking at my notes. And now I've lost which slide I'm on. So just bear with me. I'm going to check. Slide 10, powerful stuff. Okay, I remember now. Okay, so you're constantly smiling, right, as a people pleaser. I used to feel this a lot when I was a people pleaser. I was constantly smiling, but I didn't even feel happy. You know that default of like, there's a lot of people that go around the world like that. And that's a disconnect on how you're disconnected to how you actually feel. That's what that means. And so what's going to happen is if somebody like crosses a boundary or disrespects you because you're disconnected to how you feel, you wouldn't even feel that they crossed the boundary, or maybe you will, but you will feel so disconnected with yourself, with your own power, that you may not even stand up for yourself and you let it slide. But the thing is, when you're disconnected with yourself, if you don't do that healing work and connect with yourself by doing some powerful somatic breath work, or maybe doing some affirmations, or maybe just sitting silently with yourself and feeling how you feel, soothing yourself by healing the inner child, reparenting yourself, then it's just going to mean that when they cross your boundary, you're going to build resentment, right? And you're going to disconnect how you feel, disassociate, and again and again and again, until you're quite literally disconnected from yourself and fully living on this ego persona and not the soul. And the reason this is a problem is because the ego self-sabotages. And the soul, because the soul is who you truly are at the core, the feelings that emit from your heart. If you're not living in alignment with yourself, you're living against yourself. And that's the importance of living from your soul instead of from your ego, okay? So this is some very, very powerful stuff. So just make sure that if you're disconnected, let's take a deep breath in together right now to connect back to ourselves. The breath. Remember, I mentioned the way that you deal with this is by doing a lot of breath work, somatic breath work. So we're going to take one full deep belly breath in through your mouth like a straw, and then slowly as you can, out of your mouth. And the straw method again. And again, but slowly out of your mouth with the straw method. And once more. And slowly out of your mouth with the straw method. Beautiful stuff. Do you feel how much more connected you are to yourself? How much calmer you feel? Can you imagine doing this for an hour and releasing, because it's somatic, releasing the energy, which is the emotions that are trapped in your body because you suppressed them and didn't feel them? How much lighter you would feel in your body? This stuff is where the changes begin. When I started doing breathwork, I literally, my cells regenerated and I had a physical glow up where I never thought I would feel so beautiful in my own skin. And I want this for you. And I know you can have this. So definitely try out breathwork. As a breathwork facilitator, I actually offer breathwork myself. And I'm going to be gifting everyone that is on this masterclass a literal free access to one of my most powerful breathwork sessions, very intense, so it's deep work. I do have some simpler ones on my YouTube that's going to be coming out soon. But the one that I'm going to be sending to the people who join or watch this masterclass in the replay is going to be the meditation that's worth £37, but you can get it for free because I want you to have transformational results and implement the knowledge that you're learning here today. Okay, so moving on, my voice, moving on. This is what I was mentioning before, the disconnect where you're just smiling, but you're disconnected to how you actually feel, a default smile, which people users do when they're disconnected to their actual emotions. So if I had this happen to me, and this is why I'm mentioning the story, it's very powerful because this is when I realized how much better I am with boundaries and how much work I've done. Because in the past, I would never be able to say what I said. It's very, very impressive that I managed to do this now. So basically, have you ever had somebody you were speaking or so you just met someone, so you don't even know them? Like, when you know someone, maybe the boundaries are different. But when you've just met someone, there's something called personal boundaries. You always have them. So basically, someone went really close to my face and started speaking really loud and spitting on my face. And I got, like in the past, I would have been like, oh my God, I can't say anything or else I'll be rude or they'll be offended or I'll be bothering them. But then now I was like, they're bothering me. And they're crossing a boundary, a personal space. So I told the woman, you're too close. It's not personal, but can you please give me a personal space? And she handled it quite well. And I was surprised by that. I don't know how she felt, but that's not my responsibility. When you set a boundary, it's not your responsibility. The boundary is for you. It's literally for you. It's not about the other person. It's about making you feel like your limits are met. It's not about controlling anyone else. So I realized, okay, now I feel a little bit better and I communicate it in a very healthy way. So that's literally all in your power. How you feel is not in your power. So this is some powerful stuff that I never would have been able to do in the past. So I was really impressed with how I grown through using these leadership energetic tools here that you're going to learn. Okay, so you want to feel powerful and like your life matters and make more impact on the people and leave a legacy because you know how important this life is that you are living right now. And you maybe feel like it's like sand running down your fingers. you're feeling like you're losing control, the steering of your ship. You lack leadership skills, my friend. And this is what communication and boundaries will do for you. Make sure to work on your boundaries. How do you work on your boundaries? Start small and really start understanding your limits, what's okay with you and what's not okay with you. Maybe make a list on what you expect, what you will tolerate, and what you won't tolerate. What you tolerate, you allow. Listen to me again. What you tolerate, you allow. This food for thought. You want to feel like people respect you. And when you communicate your boundaries, they listen and care about how you feel, right? You want to be able to walk into a room and instead of going, oh my God, will they like me? Oh my God, you like yourself so much. And you feel so safe in your body because you know you got you, because you've shown yourself in the past that you care about how you feel and you're there for yourself by doing the healing work, by showing up for yourself. So now it feels safe to meet new people. You feel relaxed in your body. And I'm going to share you a secret. The most relaxed person in the room is the most confident person in the room. This is actually a vibrational and subconscious reason because we gravitate to the most relaxed person. Hear this. You know leaders, right? They're made for adversity and stressful situations. We wouldn't need leaders if everything was in order. Leaders help us guide into order. They give us direction and certainty and assurance. And they exude confidence that makes us feel safe. But if everything was in order, we wouldn't need them. They step up in the places that are stressful. I started realizing how I was a leader when I was working in Costa, when then I just got up and I just, like, there was a huge queue, right, of people. And there was so many people. And I remember I'd been working there for a long time. I was full-time at the time. And I started knowing how to do things so well. And I was really good at the coffee machine and the customer service and everything. I started leading the people around me and I started being able to direct them. And I started being able to also communicate in a way that I knew, okay, if you do this and I do this, I know that we're going to get the crew down. Okay, this isn't working. Let's swap. Like I was leading and I started feeling it in my bones. This is why communication and the ability to take up space and the ability to speak your truth is so powerful, because in stressful situations, you're able to bring order. Okay. So now we're getting into the juicy content. Oh my goodness. So ScarletHeartMedicine and Leadership Energetics pillar. So the first pillar is ScarletHeartMedicine. So the reason I say ScarletHeartMedicine for my Instagram, because that's my medicine. But I've removed the Scarlet because this is about your medicine, your heart medicine. This is the first pillar. We focus on your heart, right? Your medicine of your heart. And your medicine of your heart is what brings you passion. Remember how we mentioned how everyone has a purpose? Well, your purpose is going to be the thing that lights you up, that medicine in your heart. And that medicine in your heart is a medicine because when you are feeling passion, everyone around you feels it. In science, it's called something called a mirror neuron, which is what people feel what you feel. So when you start truly being connected to your emotions, you start expanding them and being able to emit them in your field. So you influence how other people feel because you're so powerful. Like we are constantly influencing how each other feels. But when you're following your passion, following your heart, you quite literally become a medicine. And that is your unique essence. And that's why a leader is got the responsibility of being able to self-lead themselves first and understand emotional intelligence, emotional soothing, boundaries, and communication skills. Let's talk about emotional soothing. So if you feel anxious for something and you do nothing, what you're essentially doing to yourself is not leading yourself. Let's just say that. But what you're essentially doing to yourself is imagine you were a little kid and your little kid is crying and you just ignore them. That's what you're doing to yourself when you're anxious. It doesn't matter if you're a grown up. That's what you're doing internally to yourself. Because when you grow up, you become your own parent. And if you stop and you don't do that, that's why you're struggling so much with anxiety, depression, all these emotions, because you didn't realize, I mean, we're not really taught this, but it's actually how it's scientifically our brain requires us to lead ourselves because there's no external authority when you grow up. And if you kind of just don't learn how to self-lead yourself, you become a codependent adult. There's a lot more to this, but in a nutshell, that's what I have to say about the heart medicine. So the intention is the second pillar. And the second pillar of the intention is being able to have a clear reason and why to what you're doing. For example, your intention of anything that you do will affect how you show up in your body language, which affects your vibe and the energy you emit, which affects what you get back. So your intention is very powerful, more than you've been led to believe. But intention isn't about setting it and going, oh, the universe will make it happen, I won't do anything. You are quite literally the universe. So when you externalize your power, you're quite literally giving your power away to the void, because you are the universe. So it's about coming back to your power and realizing, once I set an intention, let me bring my focus. Remember, we mentioned about leadership energetics being about focus, intuition, leadership skills. So focus, bringing your focus back to the intention throughout whatever you're doing again and again. That's how you stay anchored and manifest the intention in the physical realm. So intention is quite literally kind of like when you have an idea and then you go and you create it into the real life. So by maybe you have a business idea or you have a content idea and you post the thing online, and then once you post, you get loads of likes. But it started off with that idea. So the intention. So knowing your intention will change the energy you emit in your body language. Think of it like this. When you're walking and you're going on a date, you show up differently, you wear different clothes, you speak differently, maybe you show a different side of yourself. But when you have an intention to go to a meeting, for a job meeting, you dress differently, you show up differently, maybe you show a different part of yourself. So that's exactly what I mean by intention. So the third one is confidence. How confident are you in yourself? This is the third pillar of leadership energetics. If you are able to have high self-esteem and self-assured and high self-image, it means that you will feel more capable, competent, more competent, what a word, and you'll be able to actually get more done. Because once you have confidence in yourself, it means you trust yourself. And this is where charisma comes in, because confidence and charisma are very closely related. Someone that is confident will not exude people-pleasing. Remember, charisma and people-pleasing is like oil and water. So when you are people-pleasing, you're not being charismatic. I hate to break it to you, or I kind of love it because I love truth. So when you're being confident, what you're essentially doing is your self-trust in yourself, and it means that you're going to be kind to yourself. You're going to choose yourself first. You're going to prioritize yourself, because you know when you do that, you show up better for others, because your cup is filled and your energy is expanded and you're filled in your energy, and your energy becomes powerful. So you're actually giving more to people. So you know that being selfish, truly being selfish with your own energy, is being selfless when you're being generous, because you can be generous, but it's like breathing out the whole time and never breathing in. You need the balance. So it's not just about me. For example, right now, the focus is all on you, baby. I am only focused on bringing you pure value. That's my whole intention for this masterclass. And this is the balance between the reason I'm selfish with my own energy when I'm meditating, when I'm doing breath work and healing, is because I can then offer deeper levels of impact and inspiration to the people around me. So really, selfless and selfish is only a word, but how you apply it and how you use it in the ingredients in cooking is how you create the outcome and the magic that you exude in your vibe in your life. So sometimes maybe being too selfless or too selfish isn't good. Balance of breathing in and breathing out. I also, before we go a little bit longer in this masterclass, I really want to share with you that I'm going to be creating a charisma course. In like 3 months, it's going to be released. I am literally hyped. So hyped about this. The charisma course is going to change so many people's lives. I can already see it. Like a lot of people's lives being changed. I feel it, because I'm going to be pouring so much in all of the things that I'm learning right now in my life. Because like I said, I'm always constantly challenging myself out of my comfort zone, because there's no limit to how much you can grow. And so I'm always learning new things and having beautiful downloads for you. And as we grow, as you grow, I grow, as I grow, you grow, we're all on the same team. And what do I mean by this? Oh my God, this is, if you struggle with jealousy and comparison, this is going to be golden for you. This is the last thing before we move on to the next slide. So the thing is, when a postman does his job well. I love this example so much. When a postman does his job well, right? What happens is now you get your letter. But if, let's say, he doesn't do it well because he's struggling with something, or because someone was mean to him, or because of, I don't know, anything, his own reasons. Now he doesn't give you the right post. He posts it in the right house. You don't get that post. And now you're affected for a meeting. And now you lose something. And boom, chaos. We're all on the same team. We're all on the same team. So when someone else is winning, it will affect you in some way. We are all on the same team. Do you hear what I'm saying? We're all on the same team. So when you are able to work on yourself or send love to someone else, it's basically all about you, because it all affects you, baby. We all live in the same world. We all look at the same stars in the night. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about me, so you can understand why I do what I do and why I'm so experienced, so you can get the most out of this. Because when you understand a bit about me, you are able to open up subconsciously to receive the value I'm providing. Yeah, teaching you value. This is literally how the vibe works. So the first one is I heal from anxiety and depression from being suicidal. I don't know why I said that so completely. I just, when you read something, you don't read what you're saying. It's like, I'm sharing this vulnerable thing with you, but vulnerability is power. So from the tools I will teach you, I'm going to show you how I got through that. So as you can see from the way I reacted, that was a very deep thing in my life that actually was really hard, and it was my rock bottom. But I learned and I grew from it, and it created leadership energetics from it. So for that reason, I am grateful. Also, I healed shame around my sexuality and body image. So I'm queer. I like women. And I used to have a lot of shame around that because, let's just say not everyone accepts that. But it also was the way in which I started healing my own ability to lead myself, because I started realizing, even though not a lot of people, it's a lot less now, but there's been a lot of people that used to be extremely homophobic. And what happened was that would make me realize, when I started healing shame around my sexuality, that this is really important for you. Like, truly, you're going to get a lot of value. So listen closely. So when I started realizing and healing my sexuality, and started realizing that, just because someone else thinks something or truly has a strong perspective on something and says something with conviction, when it's rude or mean or homophobic, doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Like, it doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean just because they're homophobic that I should hate myself. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't mean just because someone was mean to me, there's something wrong with me. That's the same thing. So if you ever you're like, oh my God, I feel like something's wrong with me because this thing happened to me 3 years ago when someone bullied me. Remember, just because someone else does something to you does not mean that is truth. Think about how many thoughts you have in a day that aren't true. Your thoughts aren't always true, So there's so many thoughts we have in our life that just simply is bananas. I experienced ayahuasca at 18 and had a spiritual awakening at 16. So when I experienced ayahuasca at 18, I had no idea what I was experiencing. I was very deep in my spiritual journey, and I was trying to find the answer to this universe. And then I realized, oh, baby, I've been externalizing my power on crystals. So for the longest time ever, I used to think crystals, I still love them, but I used to think crystals were going to heal me. But even though I was the placebo, I am that powerful that if I think a crystal will heal me, a crystal will heal me. That doesn't mean crystals don't have frequencies, because everything has its own frequency in this universe. But it does mean that I was externalizing my power, and that I am more powerful than a frequency from a crystal if I choose to not let it affect me. Does that make sense? Okay, good. I hosted many workshops and ceremonies around the world, many events, some intuitive art events. I did a lot of art. That's my second business, actually. That was my first business. I did a lot of artwork events. It was incredible. And I also did 6+ years studying psychology and charisma. Powerful stuff, which I'm so grateful for. And that was because of my pain. So because of my pain, I chose to grow. Because I chose to grow, I alchemize my pain into power. And this is what you can do, and it's what you are doing right now. So what do I do now? I lead other leaders into their next level leadership using energetics and mindset to improve their charisma, their self-expression, their confidence, and their relationship and opportunities for your career. So if you want to go up the career ladder, I wasn't always successful. You saw the pictures of me with the acne. You saw how I was like suicidal. And there was a lot of rock bottoms before I got to this place in my life where I love who I am. I walk with pride and confidence, and I have strong boundaries, and I exude leadership energetics. So it was like this. You can tell from this picture, I am not doing quite well. I have a lack of self-esteem. I don't care about what I'm wearing. I didn't even care about my hair. I wasn't taking good care about my hair. I was really struggling, and I wasn't, you can kind of see from my eyes, I wasn't actually there as well. And I was disassociating. And bless her, because of her, I am where I am now, because she chose to heal. And so this is me recently, a few days ago, and I bought myself flowers and showed myself some self-care. So God, right? The reason I put God on the left side is because I truly believe in a highest consciousness. Like, I do believe in spirituality, and I do believe that there is a consciousness, right? Something that is more intelligent than us. Like, this could be an aspect of us. Like, a lot of people believe in the higher self, in spirituality, but basically I healed by going and committing into my spiritual journey. Like I said before, with my ayahuasca trip at 18. And if you don't know what ayahuasca is, it's a medicine that truly allows you to heal at a cellular level and have like shadow aspects come up that you can face and heal. And I explained what shadow aspects were earlier in this masterclass. Oh my God, it's just all tying so neatly like a bow. But basically, God was the thing, me connecting to my own perception of God, my own perspective of God, allowed me to do all this healing work that I never imagined I could ever do. I always doubted every single moment along the line that I did something, but I did it, and I did it, and I did it again, and I did it again, and now I'm here. And I healed so much things that used to make me be an awkward mess, and now I'm a confidence coach. So about manifestation, I truly believe you can manifest using leadership energetics. I'm going to be very specific before I talk about what I manifested so I can give you value, because it's all about pouring into your cup today, baby. So being able to have more value in your life means you can balance leadership energetics, the spiritual side. The spiritual side requires you to be able to become the person who already has what you want, right? So that means would that person dress themselves like how I dressed here? No, she wouldn't. Would she talk timidly, or would she talk and take up space if she wanted to be an exhibition? She would talk and take up space and be confident in her own work. So I started becoming that person by doing the inner work. And that's how I manifested this, right? It wasn't from just visualization or just affirmations. It was by doing what I just told you. It's powerful. If you implement this, you will create the things you want to create. This is quite literally a very, very down-to-earth way of manifesting. So as you can see on the pictures just here, I've been on 3 art exhibitions. This is huge. This is huge. I've always wanted to be in like exhibitions, and I just never thought it was going to happen. I always wanted to, and I stayed committed to the vision, and I kept doing my work on myself, showing up for my healing, visualizing affirmations, all of the tools. But yet I didn't fully think it was going to happen until it did. And I was like, oh my God, this stuff works. So you can see oh my God, look at me there. I'm actually literally wearing the same dress. This is my brand dress. This is what I wear in my business. So basically you can see me there holding my painting, so proud of myself because I really am. And then you can see above there, that's the picture of the group on that exhibition. And then on the left of that, you can see me in the middle of it, like people holding pictures. I manifested. That was my first event where people paid to come to this event, and I taught them intuitive artwork, and they did this fun things. I had incredible reviews. It was phenomenal. And then on the left of that, you can see me on a plane, right? This was when I manifested. I remember like asking and praying. I truly believe in prayer, but I believe that you should pray as if you already have it, not from a place of pleading, of like begging, but more from a place of I truly believe in prayer, and I know it's already happened because I've chosen to pray, and now I let it go because it's happened. That is the energy where then it begins to work. So I remember I prayed, and then I was like, I just need a rest. I just want something that allows me to truly refresh and refuel. And the holiday would be so nice. I haven't ever really been on a holiday before. And then boom, literally less than a week, I get a holiday that's all paid for a week in the Canary Islands. And then on the bottom left, that is my baby. I love him so much. That is Lyro, baby boy, where dear Lyro was a manifestation when I was really, really young. And what happened was I manifested him. I kept saying, I really want that color. Look like this. And when I say he brings me so much love in my heart, I love him so much. The middle one was a market stall where I created my own art market stall, sold my own art. And that was huge. That was a huge breakthrough in my art career. And then the bottom one was I manifested a place to live in less than a week when everyone was telling me it was really hard to find a place. And then most people waited months. And I did it in less than a week. Because I believed I could, I did. Okay, so this means it's possible for you too. So implementing all of the stuff I'm going to teach you today, you can create incredible results in your life like I did here too. Trying to bed every night before I understood the power behind this information. Look at the acne. Look at the sorrow in my eyes. Bless her. I love her so much. There's nothing wrong with feeling these things. But I wasn't happy with myself. I wanted to change in my life. And so I did it. Are you ready to change your life? Okay, so now this is more juicy content. Like I told you, I warned you that I was about to give you so much value. So ScarletHeartMedicine formulas. We've gone through the pillars. Literally, if you just do the work and implement the work from the pillars and start setting boundaries where you actually communicate your limits, you're golden. Start clearly communicating what you have to say, you're golden. So if you do the formula on top of the pillars, you're golden. You're like quite literally golden. You're literally beaming your aura, big ass energy. So the first one is soothe the nervous system. You can do this with breath work, which we did a little bit of breath work, which was not as long as you normally do it at all. That was a very quick moment earlier on the masterclass. But if you are able to soothe your nervous system, what you're essentially doing is you're bringing the fight or flight reaction to a pause. You're releasing it. You're coming back to your true self, true expression, true confidence, true magnetism, true charisma. Okay, so now, second of all, build your charisma skill. I'm going to be giving you right now, right this second, 3 charisma skills. 3 charisma skills that is going to change the way that you interact with other people. When you master this into your life, when you're able to do this with the people that you meet, you are going to find making connections and friends so much easier. And you're also going to find selling to people if you have a business so much easier. And also just in general, as a human being, to persuade people to get what you want, you're going to find it so much easier. Everyone wants to feel good, right? Feel loved. Always remember this. People will make decisions based on their feelings instead of what they think. So if their feelings, if you make someone feel bad when they're around you, you're not being charismatic, because it's not about you feeling good. It's about you feeling other people, allowing people to feel good, but not from the perspective of you trying to please people, but from the perspective that you truly do listen to people when they speak, that you truly do care about people, that you truly do honor yourself and your boundaries so much so that you can honor other people's boundaries too. Because the way you treat yourself is how you're going to treat others. So to build your charisma, you treat yourself better. You pour more love into your cup. So that is one way of building your charisma, pouring more respect and honor into yourself. And so in so doing so, also pour it in other people and put the focus on the other person while still honoring yourself when you're having a relationship with anyone. The second one is 2. Being able to have eye contact with people is the most important thing. I remember I used to be really awkward with eye contact when I was younger. And I had a meditation with so many of my friends where we would look into each other's eyes and meditate for 30 minutes to an hour whilst gazing into each other's eyes. The first time I did this, I was so awkward. This is how powerful this tool is that I'm sharing with you. that I was so awkward whilst I was looking into my friend's eye. I kept laughing and I couldn't stop laughing. And that's a trait of a people pleaser, where they just laugh at things that make them awkward or nervous. But when you're able to hone in and not laugh at things that make you awkward or nervous, you now are taking the leadership of how you express yourself. You're not just reacting to things, but you're responding to things, which is extremely magnetic and powerful, which is a leadership skill. Third one is being able to hold space. Do you see what I just did? Hold space. Being able to take your time, slow down, but also being able to speak fast too, being dynamic, but not purposely trying to be dynamic, but allowing yourself to be dynamic. And this will naturally happen as you start to heal the trauma in your body and releasing it through breathwork and all of these tools. So the third one is get more visible. How do you get more visible? You get more visible by quite literally putting yourself out there, maybe doing more lives, maybe going to clubs, maybe doing public speaking. This allows you to be seen. A lot of people have fear of being seen when they're people pleasers or they're struggling to build their confidence. So if you literally, through slowly chipping away through exposure therapy, what is exposure therapy? You start small and then you soothe yourself and you kind of parent yourself, self-parent yourself, telling yourself it was okay. See, you did this and it was okay. Let's try next time doing something bigger, closer, until you're doing public speaking. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it starts off with you disagreeing with a person you meet on the street, and they say something you don't like, and you go, actually, I disagree with that. That's slowly. And then the next time you set a boundary, and then the next time you maybe speak to a group of people, and then the next time you do the public speaking. That's exposure therapy. The fourth one, my nose is itchy. So the fourth one is shadow work on triggers. So we talked about shadow, how it's about being able to bring the unconscious into your awareness. So being able to get curious, why do I feel this way? Is it because this thing happened to me when I was this old? And then being able to kind of show to yourself that this isn't the case anymore. Like, you're a grown-up, you're a different person now, and you can handle it. And that's doing the shadow work and the healing work in order to bring that into the light. So that's the shadow work triggers. That's how you do it. You can do this through journaling. So an example on how you can do this is, for example, you have maybe a fear. We'll use this example of, like, when you're speaking, your voice cracks, right? Then what you can do is you go to someone, maybe that's a lower stake. Like, if you speak to them and it doesn't work out, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's okay. You do it with them and you speak to them. And the reason that you go for a low stake first, instead of going to somebody who maybe it's a job interview, kind of thing, low stake, because then you're not going to put so much pressure on yourself. So if it doesn't work, it's okay. And you're more likely to do it then. And then what happens is, this is actually the exposure therapy whilst using shadow work. Beautiful, because you do both. It's interchangeable. So then what happens is, you then maybe you do croak your voice. And then whilst it happens, you tell yourself, whatever, so what? Because literally, so what? And then what happens is, the next time you do it, it doesn't matter so much. And then it doesn't matter so much. And eventually you won't even think about it. And it will probably stop happening so much. This is gold. Okay, so back to the pillars. I'm going to go through this one last time so I can give you even more stuff that's coming through right now. Because even though I had the notes, I haven't truly been listening to all of them, because I have already read through them and I created them myself. So I'm allowing it to be more intuitive flow. First one is heart medicine. Your heart medicine is your essence, is your uniqueness. You tap into this by being able to tap into your truth. And you do this by practicing questioning, what do I think? Instead of thinking, what do they think? What do I think? What do I feel in the situation? What do I want from the situation? If you're a people pleaser, this will be the shift. If you're not a people pleaser and you want to tap into your heart medicine, the shift for you may just be to be kinder and softer with yourself and soothe the inner critic. This will work even if you're a people pleaser or not, because everyone has an inner critic. So when you're able to soothe your inner critic by being kinder with yourself, giving yourself more grace, being able to treat yourself as you would treat a small child. For example, if you may be in a situation, you had told yourself you're going to run every single day and then you miss one day. Instead of going, I knew you wouldn't do it. You're a loser. You're blah, blah, blah. Instead of doing that, what if you stopped and you went, you know what? You had a really tough day today and this happened and I understand and that's okay. But we can do it tomorrow, and then you do it tomorrow because you said, and your word is God. When I say your word is God, that is how you build confidence. Make your word God and make it so that you always listen to what you have to say. The more that you start listening to what you have to say, the more that you will begin to trust your own self. Self-trust is equivalent to confidence. So now the second one is intention, right? Your intention emits the energy you exude, right? It influences the energy you exude. So if you want to be able to change your vibe, which affects everything that the world reflects back to you, you've got to be able to get clear on your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you choosing to say this? Why are you not sending that person the message? Why are you maybe always eating food when you meet that person? When they make you nervous, you just start going into your bag, getting a bag of chips, you start eating like crazy. And then next time, because maybe they make you nervous, or maybe this or that, ask yourself the why. Once you understand yourself to a deeper level, you'll be able to express yourself more powerfully. Now, third one is confidence. Now, confidence is built, like I said, with being able to hold your word with yourself, but it's also built through exposure therapy, through healing trauma in your body, through building your charisma skill, knowing that you are able to do what you want to do. So, for example, I prepared for this masterclass. I made notes. Maybe I'm not using them, but this allowed me to have a level of confidence. So when I showed up here, I feel is a key word. It's about feeling confident, not looking confident, because people feel what you feel. And I felt confident about what I had to say. So it started flowing. Now, this is a post of before and after. Healing is sexy. It's on my Instagram. If you want to go follow me on Instagram, I post incredible tips and tricks, knowledge, very powerful stuff on there. We really go really deep on actually giving you pure value. So I do give you actual knowledge that's going to transform your life. So I really do focus on pouring into your cup. And it's okay. So the dark night of the shadow. I used to have extremely long blonde hair. Then what happened was I had a moment where I had a breakdown, a mental breakdown. Things got really, really dark in my life. So then I ended up cutting my hair off. And that was a moment where I was like, things have gotten a little bit crazier than I'm used to. So I started investing in coaching, in therapy. And that is when I realized it was not over. It was just the end of that chapter of my life. And I was about to begin a new one. And I'm saying this because I feel like someone here is also going through something, a transition in their life. We're always transitioning in our life and transforming, right? There's always change in our life. That's something that's always predictable in the world. So just know that an end, any form of end, just means a form of beginning. And you can choose to make it a good one by your intention, by your focus and your leadership skills. And in this case would be discipline. So the ScarletHeartMedicine formula. So we've gone through this a few times. I'm not going to really go too much over this again, but essentially just implement everything that I've taught you because it will literally shift your life. Okay? I was lost and I was trying to get people to tell me how I was because I had no idea who I was until I discovered who the fuck I am and I reclaimed my own power. Yes. 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 Until I was lost, until I was found, until I became who I am now. Okay, so the thing is you want to be able to feel powerful, right? You want to feel powerful. That is going to take work. Not because you're not already powerful, because my friend, you are, but because your mind doesn't believe it. But that doesn't mean you're not powerful right now. Or maybe you do know you're powerful. Maybe you're like, I do know I'm powerful. I just don't feel powerful. Disconnection from the mind to the body. Breath work. My answer when it comes to body work and releasing trauma from the body, which is why we're disconnected, is powerful. Always do the breath work. Remember, the people who are in this masterclass are going to get a free breathwork session. I'm going to be sending it to you by email. And if you haven't received it, all you have to do to get the breathwork session, which is valued at £34, this incredible opportunity, all you have to do is message me, DM me on Instagram, or send me an email if you have my email. Okay, so your ideal day. What is your ideal day? What does it look like? Think about it for a second. So maybe your ideal day looks like you wake up and you have a clear path of what you want in your life. You know exactly what steps to take. Not only that, you feel like you're able to take those steps, and you feel competent, and you feel confident, and you feel charismatic, you're beaming with joy, and you know that you're capable of doing the things that you desire. And because of that, every single step you take, no matter the outcome, it makes you feel excited. Is that what you want? Because I know that that is what you can get using leadership energetics. And also, you'll be carrying yourself with more confidence, with more pride, with assurance and certainty. And so you're going to be able to get a lot of more occurrences in your life that are successful, where in the past, maybe things just wouldn't work out. But once you start implementing this stuff, you literally will start seeing magic happening in your life, like one great thing and then another great thing and another great thing and another great thing and another great thing happening right after the other. So instead of being in the hell's loop, which is a consciousness, a state of consciousness, you are in a heaven's loop, which is also a state of consciousness. The state of consciousness of being in hell is like the victim mindset. The leadership mindset is the heaven's loop, right? So if you're able to transition from one to the other, that's when you start improving your quality of life. And every single person is going to look different, the way that they get there, their path. So there's no one cookie cutter way of doing it. So just remember, everyone is different. So give yourself grace in the path and the time frame you have. Okay, so oh my goodness, commit to yourself. I have such a good juicy value that I've learned recently about commitment, because I've never seen commitment in this way until now. Everything in our life is relationships. Your relationship to money, your relationship to how you feel about your job, your relationship to your boss, your relationship to your friends, to your mom, etc. Everything is relationships. So when you are able to see things as relationships, when you're committing to something, you're not only deciding to show up every day, you're deciding to show up regardless of the emotional relationship you have with that thing. And you're committed to healing the emotional relationship you have with that thing. So maybe you're committed to getting more money, right? Or that means you have to heal your relationship with money. Or maybe you're committed to making new friends. That means you have to heal your relationship with how you see friendships. Everything around that line. So your relationship with your job, with your passion, that is what we're going to focus on today. Okay, so if you want to heal your relationship with your career, right? What do? The reason I'm going to mention this example, because it's going to be so powerful once it lands, and it's going to make sense for all of the other examples, like your relationship to other people. Once you're able to commit to, let's say you are committing to doing a project where you have to make a video on YouTube every day. You might not feel like making a YouTube video every day, and maybe one day you get 3 likes, and then the next you get 0, or maybe the next day you get 100. You're going to get different emotional responses each time, because we're emotional beings. So what happens is, because you're committed, instead of ignoring it or distracting it or saying, oh yeah, it got too hard, I'll just give up or I'll just stop, what you'll probably do is you'll face the shadow, which is what's coming up. You know, when you're doing a new thing, is the things that were once hidden, or the things that you were able to ignore because you were in your comfort zone. Now that you're expanding your comfort zone, you're facing things that you used to ignore about yourself. You're bringing more into your awareness. You're being more conscious about who you are, or about who you've been, until you decide to face these things. So Maybe when you get 300 likes, you're like, oh my God, can I keep this? Can I keep this going? I'm scared. I'm nervous. You being committed to showing up every single day and posting that YouTube video will require you to do the emotional work, the energy work, being able to show up for yourself and parent yourself and soothe your emotions by speaking to yourself, bringing yourself clarity, certainty, soothing yourself, being there for yourself. And that is the commitment to the project. It's about the relationship you have to the project. It's a relationship you have to the person. It's a relationship you have to the thing. It's such a beautiful perspective. Okay, now implementation. You have so much knowledge here today. You've got so much value. If you just implemented one thing that I taught you here today, you would see so much change in your life. One thing, just one thing. Imagine if you were implementing most of the things or everything. So apply, try things out and try them again and try them again. Explore, experiment, have fun whilst you're doing it. Do the things, take the action. Maybe your mind tells you, I don't feel like I can do it, but do it anyways because your mind does not control you. You do. You are the creator of your mind, not the other way around. When you remember that, you truly understand this from learning by trying these things, not just listening to the theory, you're going to have a huge life of love. Your life is going to change. You will see results in your life. And I would love, love, love to hear the things that you start seeing in your life after listening to this masterclass. DM me on Instagram, ScarletHeartMedicine. Let's talk. Let's converse. And I look forward to seeing what happens in your life and all of the implementation you take. So think of me as an accountability buddy. Let me know what happens. Okay. Don't change. We're not yet done. We're very close, but we're not done. Don't change. Don't change. You just told me to change my habits. You just told me to change these things about me. You just told me this perspective. What do you mean don't change? What I mean don't change from a place of feeling like you need to change in order to be worthy of being liked. For example, charisma isn't about doing the tricks and things in order to be liked. It's about accepting at a somatic, so a feeling level, that you are already likable, and then learning the skills from that place of knowing that who you are is enough. And these are just the skills in order to be able to deeper connect with people. But who you are at your core is already enough. And how you get that understanding, that feeling, is by showing yourself the love you're looking externally, by showing you the validation you're looking for externally. You can do this by using affirmations. So how do you properly do affirmations? This is something I said I was going to teach you on this masterclass. The way that you properly do affirmations is by, instead of just saying them, I am beautiful, I am sexy, I love myself. Feel them. I am sexy, I am beautiful, I love myself. And not only feel them, but don't say them in order to be them. Say them to remind yourself of what you already are. Do it from that place. Then they will start to shift how you show up and the way people treat you. Change. What? You're giving me mixed signal, Miss Scarlett. Yeah. Change, change, change. What am I talking about? Change your habits. Change your thoughts. Because those are not who you are. These are your choices. So change your choices in order to change your life, to create an extraordinary life. Life where you're excited and beaming with joy, to wake up where you feel passionate about, where you are so passionate because you're following your heart to create this life, that your heart medicine, heals all those that you touch. Not because you're trying to heal them, but because you're sharing them, you're emitting this frequency by following your heart, which is your heart medicine, which is unique to you, unique to every single person, which is your purpose. If you want help with finding your purpose, I'm going to be doing some videos on that on YouTube, on podcasts. I have a podcast called ScarletHeartMedicine. Definitely check it out because I pour in high value trainings, which also is packed full of value. So definitely check this out. I'm focusing on doing more YouTube videos soon. But essentially, back to the masterclass. Those are just some of the ways you can get more value. So I also want to say, change the idea that there is something wrong with you, and that's why you have to change. There's nothing wrong with you. All is well with you. Do you feel that, or is there resistance when I say that? Because the truth is, all is well with you. You, who you are now, is perfect. Does that feel weird to say? And I'm not saying this so you never do anything, you never develop yourself, you never change the things that are toxic about you. I am saying this from a place of self-acceptance and knowing that if somebody told you that there was something wrong with you or that you were broken, most likely they were projecting their own belief about themselves onto you. Just something to think about. Okay, so, oh my God, this is exciting. I have an opportunity for you, which is literally not something I see myself doing often. Like, probably never again. It's just how the stars have landed. It feels right now. And I'm going to be giving a lucky woman an opportunity to work with me for free, which usually would pay a lot of money to invest in her growth. But she's going to be working with me for free in exchange of her attention, because you have to pay attention to get the result, and in exchange of video testimonials. So all you need is help implementing everything that you've learned. Is that something you need? If that's you, and you want accountability and you want more clarity, because you know everyone's different and it's a different path for you, if you want the help implementing this, then you are going to only one lucky woman. Everyone else, you will still have the opportunity to work with me as well. You're going to get 1 month free if you get this giveaway. Here's how the once in a lifetime incredible giveaway works for one woman for exchange of a video testimonial. So you get one-to-one call with me where we map out specific strategies and actionable steps. So this is about the structure, the leadership skills. You're going to have a literal structure plan, which will give you more confidence, which will actually see the results, because it's going to be specific to your needs, specific to your visions, which we will create together. A success routine, tools to alchemize your pain into power. So we're going to be healing using powerful meditations, powerful breath works that you normally would have to pay from me, and access to my course in 3 months. Can't believe it. This one lucky woman. And you're going to get rocks of support from me for 100 hours per month. So that's really valuable. And usually I don't do 1 month. That's why I'm doing a 1 month giveaway. Usually I only offer this kind of package in 3 months or 6 months. And I also offer 1 hour sessions. But the packages with the Voxer support and the 1 to 2 hour video calls with me for coaching, these I usually offer in the packages of 3 months or 6 months. So I'm going to be giving away this for 1 month, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And here's how it works. You will get lifetime access to the recording of the sessions of our coaching call together. And if you're like, okay, but I don't really, maybe what if I don't win the giveaway? If you can still work with me, there will still be opportunity to work with me. And if you want to work with me one-to-one, if you want to apply for the giveaway, make sure to DM me on Instagram on ScarletHeartMedicine, and we can work together. All right, so if you have any questions on the offer, just DM me a message on Instagram and we can talk about it. Also, I just want to talk about the value of what I'm providing here so you can truly understand how incredible this giveaway is. Like, it's 6 months of embodied leadership activation, which is a value of £3,000. One-to-one Voxer access valued that money, £3,000, £6,000. 60 monies, one-to-one strategy sessions, unlimited access to upcoming courses. The unlimited access to upcoming courses only works You pay to work with me. If you get the giveaway, you have for my next course access to, and that's just one course. But the leadership video training, you get a value of £10,000. In total, the value of this package is £20,000. And would it be worth £20,000 for you to pay to work with me to go deeper into your leadership skills? What is it worth to you to live a life where you wake up in the morning and you know who you are, and you are so confident in yourself, in your own skin, you like who you are? All of this information alone, just the information, just the theory that I shared and that is in the packages is worth this money without the coaching calls. So it definitely is worth £20,000. And usually I wouldn't even charge people £20,000, even though that is the value of working on all of the value you're going to get with me. I would charge them around £1,000 per month to work with me, to invest in themselves, but it has to be in a package of 3 months or 6 months. But if you get the giveaway, you get all of that value for free for 1 month. So apply using this QR code, Calendly, 30 minutes, working with me. All you have to do is fill in the form. And then, like I said, one of you will win the giveaway. So moving forward, if you want to find yourself transform into a woman that you hold yourself with pride, with confidence and gratitude that you get to be alive, then this is for you. The glow up, where I became unrecognizable, right? The glow up had me unrecognizable to people who used to know me, and I'm not even joking. I remember going back to my hometown, my neighbors literally did not recognize me. When I say this work is powerful because it changes your energetic frequency and your vibe, it's powerful. It doesn't change who you are at your core. It kind of just allows you to reveal who you are more. But when I say it changes your frequency, when you have a frequent thought, you emit a frequency. And when you have a frequent thought, you have an energy, a vibe that you emit. But when you change that frequent thought by doing the inner work, you change your frequency and the vibe that you emit. This was so much fun. This was so much fun. It's been so much fun giving you all of this value. Just so excited that I get to, share this with you. Oh my goodness. Okay, I really want to go to one. Let's go to one. I want to finish on the first. Whilst I'm flipping through the slides, how are you feeling? To check in, how are you feeling? Did you hold the intention that you placed in the beginning that how you wanted to feel? Did you hold that intention? How do you feel right now? I sure did get my intention. I feel ecstatic. I feel amazing. I feel so grateful that I managed to give you all of the value that I wanted to, that I intended to in this masterclass, and that I know that you're going to get incredible results, even if you just apply one thing that you learned here today. Like I said, once you start seeing results, I'd love to know how it changes your life. DM me on Instagram, let's connect. Sending you so much love. Mwah! See you soon. Let's stop sharing